Hello guys, my name is Balkrishna Srivastava and welcome to Code with PK. So in this video, we write a C++ program to reverse a string. So before we begin, it is a request to please subscribe to my channel because out of 100 viewers, only 3 to 5 are subscribed. More than 95% of my audience is not subscribed and a subscription is very important. So please do subscribe to my channel. Let's begin. So we have to write a C++ program to reverse a string. And this is fairly a simple problem. It is problem for absolute beginners. But we look into details and depth on how we solve this and we find multiple ways to solve this problem. Okay. So for example, one, if the string is this, then the reverse comes out to be this. Okay. The first character comes at the last, the second character comes at second last, third character comes at third last, last character comes at the first index, second last character comes at the second index, and so on. Okay. Similarly, for this string, the reverse comes out to be this. Okay. And as I said, we solve this problem in multiple ways. And the idea of approaching the same problem in multiple ways is, for example, if you are appearing for an interview, right? You're asked a question and you provide your answer. But at times what happens is the interviewer wants to see if you can approach a problem in the not very usual way, right? And that is where your thought process and how you solve a problem and how you approach a problem is checked, and not necessarily the outcome of the problem, because you have already solved the problem. How you approach and think of a problem in a different angle is also asked. Okay. So my first method is going to involve the most basic way to iterate the string from left to right and append the characters in an empty string. Now what do I mean by that? For example, if I have my string as cricket, cricket, okay, this is a very popular sport in India. Now I need to find the reverse of this string, which is going to be, if I take this as rs, I have my last character at the first index, then the second last, third last, fourth last, I, R and C. Okay, cricket spelled backwards is the reverse of the string. We do the exact same thing. So I start with a blank string, okay, and this is my string of which I need to find my reverse. Okay, I iterate this string which is given as from right to left, from the last index to the first index. So if I provide this indices 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so my for loop will iterate from index 6 to index 0, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And in each iteration, I pick out the character at this index, append it to this reverse string. Okay, so in my first iteration, I pick out the character at index 6, which is lowercase t. So rs from this becomes, you add t, this becomes, okay. Then in the next index, I have lowercase e. So rs was now t, to that you append e, okay, so it becomes te. In the next index you have index 4, okay, character k. So to te you add character k, it becomes teek. All right, next index is 3, you add lowercase c to rs, which is tek, plus lowercase c, this becomes tekc. All right, next index is 2, has lowercase I. My rs right now is tekc, you add lowercase I to it, it becomes tekci. Okay, next index is 1, okay, has character r. Your rs is tekci, you add r to it, it becomes tekcir. Okay, and then the next index 0, which is lowercase c. Your rs is tekcir plus lowercase c, this becomes tekcirc. All right, which is the string we are looking for. Okay, and this is what we exactly code string. The return type of this method is going to be string. I named this method as takes a string s. Okay, so the return type of this method is string because this method will return the reverse of the string s. Okay, we start with a blank string, reverse string. So I say string reverse string. You can take rs as well for short of reverse string, and then finally we return this reverse string. In our explanation, we were iterating this string s from right to left, iterating this string from right to left. Okay, so we do reverse string plus equal to s of I. Okay, and then we return the reverse string. All right, that's the code. That's it. Let me just take some strings in my main. Okay, so for each string, for string s in this array strings, okay, I say cout, okay, reverse, okay, backslash this to need this s backslash. Okay, this is now calling this function the string and handle. Okay, so let me just print it and show you how it is supposed to print. Okay, so I want to say reverse of this string is this string, and you can put this string into inverted quotes as well. Okay, clear, compile again and run. Okay, so reverse of this is this. Okay, the first character comes at last, second character comes at second last. For this we have this, the way we discussed in our example. For this we have this, for this, and then for this again. Okay, so this is our first method, so I can name it reverse one. Okay, so using a for loop to find the reverse of a string. Okay, let's write another function reverse 2. Okay, and the concept we use here is using the idea that C++ strings are mutable. Okay, now what do I mean by this is strings in Java are immutable. In fact, in Python as well, they are immutable. That is, you cannot change the individual contents of a string, right? You cannot change an individual character in a string. You can assign the same variable to a different string, but you cannot change the individual characters of a string. You can in C++. Okay, because C++ strings are STLs, they are containers. Okay, C++ string is not like int a, it is not a primitive data type. C++ strings are containers. Okay, just as vectors are. So you can change individual locations in a vector, just in the same way you can change individual characters in a string, and that is the property we use to find the reverse of the string. How? So if I go back again, I have this, I need to find this. Okay, so this was my method 1. Going on to my method 2. Okay, I use the property that strings are mutable. That is, if I have say this string CRICKET, okay, indices are 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. I know I can change the individual characters of the string, so I want to do manipulations in this very same string to get the reverse of the string. So what I do, I swap first and last indices. I swap characters at first and last indices. So C goes here at the last index, T goes at the first index, index 0. So we have T comes here, C comes here, okay, and rest of it remains the same with this indices 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, then we do our next swap. Okay, that is we swap indices, second index from left with second index on right. So you swap R and E on indices 1 and 5. Okay, rest of it remains the same. So at 0 1 2 3 4 5 6, at 0 we have T, at 6 we have C, at 2 we have I, then C, then K. Okay, this lowercase e goes to 1 and this lowercase r goes to 5. Okay, in the next swap, okay, we swap third index from the left with third index on the right. Okay, so we swap I and K on indices 2 and 4. So we have indices 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, T E C R C remain the same. Lowercase k comes at index 2, lowercase I comes at index 4. Okay, the next swap is with the same very index. We have reached the middle of the string, so we stop swapping, right? And this string that we get, PEKCIRC, is the reverse that we want. All right, so this is our second method. We swap indices, okay, ith index from left with ith index from the right, starting from the first index till the first half of the string. Okay, the half index of the string. Okay, I have to iterate from index 0 to half index of the string, which is going to be length by 2. So if I take s dot length in a separate variable, I say L by 2 I plus plus. Okay, I have to swap ith index from left with ith index from right. So I say char left, char is character at ith index from left is going to be at s at I, char right char, okay, is going to be character at ith index on the right side, which is going to be s of L minus I minus 1. Okay, so if I is 0, okay, and L is 7, you get 7 minus 0 minus 1 6. So 0 and 6 are swapped. If I is 1, you get 7 minus 1 minus 1 as 5. So 1 and 5 are swapped. If I is 2, we get 7 minus 2 minus 1, which is 7 minus 3 4. You swap 2 and 4 and so on. Okay, till the half, the middle of the string. Okay, right? Then swap, so I say s of I, okay, ith index from the left becomes the right char, and ith index from the right becomes the left char, okay. And since I'm making changes in my string s itself, I return it, okay. And this is allowed because I'm able to manipulate this string. This string is mutable. I'm able to change the contents of the string. All right, so let me just run reverse one again, okay. The first approach, changing this to reverse 2, compiling and running, we should get the exact same output that we get for the first case, okay. So this is your second method to reverse a string. Now the third method actually uses the STL methods, STL properties, right? So what we can do is, so if I write reverse 3, okay, all right, using STL properties of the string, okay. Now STL properties mean we use r begin and r end. Let me just write the code first. I'll say string, reverse string is going to be, you build a string from the reverse beginning of s till the reverse end of s, okay. And this is a constructor for a string, right? You can build a string like this and you return rs, okay. Let me just run this. So if I make this reverse 3, okay, you see you get the same output, right? Okay, and this is because, okay, my third method is, okay, using r begin and r end, okay. So r begin is short for reverse begin, that is the reverse of the beginning, which is the end of the string, okay. Similarly, r end is the reverse end, which is the starting of the string. R begin will iterate from right to left, okay. It will move from right to left if you keep incrementing this iterator, okay. These both return iterators, and the string that we are creating is between these two iterators. That's why we get the reverse of the string, okay. You can read more about iterators, what is begin, what is end, what is r begin, and what is r end, to get more idea about this. But this in short is using the STL properties to find the reverse of the string, okay. Just one single line of code, okay. Then the final method we can use is recursion, okay. And we can use recursion because we use iteration to solve a problem. If you can use iteration to solve a problem, we can convert that problem into recursive solution as well, okay. So I say string reverse 4 takes a string s, okay. So for recursions we need a base case and a recursive case. Base case is if my length of the string is 0, you can say double equal to blank, okay. It means I've reached at the end of my string, I return s as it is, okay. Otherwise I find a temp string, which is basically my last character of the string, plus equal to s of s dot length minus 1, okay. Temp is a string that contains only the last character of this string s. And then you recur, you say return temp, which is the last character, plus the reverse of the remaining string, which is going to be reverse 4. How do you find the remaining string? You say s dot substring starting from index 0, leaving out the last character s dot length minus 1, okay. So this function should give you the reverse of the string s, okay. So let me just make this 4, okay, compile, okay. You get the same output as we get for the other cases. All right, let me just explain what is happening. So in our fourth case, which is basically using recursion, what is happening is, suppose this is my string, okay. So to the first call of the function, temp is basically the string containing the last character, which is t, okay. Then you recur, you say return temp, which is t plus calling the function reverse, okay, and passing the string, removing the last character, removing t, so we pass CRICKE, all right. The last character is removed, right. So again same thing happens with this call, is I have another temp, okay, a new activation record is called form. Now this variable temp for this call of the function has last character as e, okay, last character as a string e, and then you say return e plus reverse of the remaining, which is CRICK, okay, removing e from here. Again same thing happens, okay. Temp is now a fresh variable, has the last character as a string, you return k, I'll say return, okay, k plus reverse, okay, pass the string without the last character, which is cric, okay. Then again, this function call has temp as the last character as a string, which is c, and you return temp plus, which is c plus reverse of, okay, cri, okay. Remove the last character from the string, which this function, this call to reverse got, right. Then again you do the same thing, okay. Temp is, okay, the last character, which is I as a string, then you return, which is I plus reverse, okay, cr, okay. Removing I from the string, again same thing. Temp is now the last character as a string, you return r plus reverse of only c, because you removed r. Again same call, temp is the last character of the string as a string, which is c, you return, okay, c, which is the temp plus reverse of, removing the last character, you get a blank. Now this is where your recursion stops, okay, because your base case here is if the length is 0, you return s. Length is 0, return s. S in this case is blank. This call to reverse gets s as a blank, you return as it is. So this becomes, because you are sending a blank, you return a blank, c plus blank basically gives you c. So this function call, which is calling this activation record, okay, gets a c. So now this will become r plus c, so it becomes rc, okay. Now this is the return value from this activation record, this function call, which is calling reverse cr, okay. You get rc, so you add I to rc, so this now returns I plus rc, so you get irc, okay. So reverse of cr returns rc, reverse of c returns c. Now we return irc, this returns irc from this function call, okay. So cri returns irc, the reverse is irc. Now this returns c plus irc, which is circ, okay. And this was called from, this method call was from here, okay. cric returns circ, so this value will be k plus circ, okay, circ, right. This returns circ, this returns irc, okay. This gets rc, okay. So this becomes kcirc, okay. Now kcirc is returned by this call to cric, basically the return, the reverse of this word circk. So kcirc is returned, okay. So this return value becomes e plus kcirc, which is e k circ, okay, which is returned for this, okay. So return value of this, the first call returns t plus ekcirc, so it returns tekcirc, which is the reverse we are looking for, okay. And that is how we solve this problem recursively, okay. So these are the 4 different methods to find the reverse of a string, and you can remember whichever one you want, okay. So I hope this problem was helpful. So if you have any doubts, there is a part you do not understand, please let me know in the comments. I always try to answer all your comments, and you can always let me know in the comments if there's a question you want to solve, or if there's a concept you want to discuss. So please let me know your thoughts about this video in the comments. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.